Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nuestra Tabla Rasa. And tonight's topic, even when you don't watch, how does the news manipulate you? But first, how has your week been, Trista?
Well, kind of painful, but it's better now. So I had, yeah, just like the worst migraine I've had in probably years, probably multiple years, definitely over a year. So that was fun, but it's all better now. I like to think that it was an upgrade and that my intuition is just going to be smoking after that. It better be. Other
Yeah,
than that, it was good.
I've been
Just took
doing
it
a
easy
migraine.
without guilt.
Yeah, I've been doing a migraine battle myself where I thought for so long I had it under control, but this week and a half has been absolutely
Yeah.
abominable. Yeah. Oh well. It is what it is. So I guess there's two of us at least have the migraine issue. But
Yeah. Well, and when you say that, you remind me that it was last week, like NTR, when it was just starting, if I remember correctly. Or I think it started the night before or something. You can't eat my peas, baby. Go away.
It looked like you
Anyway,
had a tail for a second too, Trista. That was awesome.
I might. You wouldn't know.
True, true.
Okay, you're sitting right on my.
so, Victor, how has your week been?
My week's been good. My week's been good. I can't complain. And something about my week, didn't we make a correlation? We were speculating that all these migraines, because there was a lot of you suffering them right now, that it was some kind of cleanse or some kind of even psyopy kind of stuff. Did that ever cross your mind?
I don't like that kind of thought for myself because I like to be in control of my life. So
Sure.
it might be that, but God forbid I'll never admit to it. I'd rather take responsibility for it myself and I think I need to take the right vitamins and, not drink enough water and try to do something else, but nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. So your idea does
Even
hold merit because,
yeah, even
no,
painkillers for me. But I like to think the other way around. That it's not a psyop. That it's a good thing. That this is an opening and a clearing.
Sure.
I would love that.
Or
I
even
would, yes, it
yeah,
would
or
make it
even
worth it.
clearing it too. It also came to me. So yeah,
Because
we'll just go with that.
I monitored my water intakes. Is yep, I know how many of I need to take it up. I'm well above my norm, so that's not the problem. And then my different vitamins I was supposed to take it under control. And then of course the last, the painkiller, which is the last ditch for me, the last op, and even they weren't working. So you're right. So honestly,
Yeah.
if you get off all the other reasons, what's left? Yeah, what are you
Is
gonna
the
do?
truth.
So, yeah.
Solar flares too, and that's legit.
Yeah, I really like. I think my favorite. Excuse me. I think I would go with that. It's some kind of supernatural thing. It's a energetic growth thing, or it's a, the frequency change on the planet thing, something like that. That that's the way I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and Millie, I'm afraid to ask because your voice is under stress. So, you're feeling better now?
So as of like was yesterday, as of yesterday, I started losing my voice. Friday, I wasn't feeling so great, so I too am purging. Um, yeah, yeah. It's just I see it as a good thing. I see it as I'm getting a throat cleanse and maybe some higher heart healing, and it's all going to be better once I get my voice back. It'll be really strong. Oh, my kid's home. You heard that?
Yay, kids are home. Yay.
Yeah, it's
Raise
kind of
energy.
party. Yeah. Um,
So, back to the subject. Even when you don't watch, does the news manipulate you? And I don't watch the news personally, but it's kind of hard not to be part of it when everyone around you is so deep into it. And especially now with the last few weeks about these silly snowstorms, when
Hmm.
you, honestly, because I want to know how much I got to shovel, how much it'll affect my commute, how much is it going to affect my life, how it's going to affect my family's life. I pay attention to the snow levels, and they were all over the place. For the last snowstorm, which was happened yesterday, it went from 2 to 8 inches, and they kept moving the line back and forth, and it was driving me crazy. And I'm like, wait, is this what they want? Do they want us so confused not to know what's going to happen that we're going to prepare for the worst? When, honestly, it was 3 inches. And 3 inches with the shovel I have, it's nothing. No big deal. Like a snowblower that doesn't do anything to the broken. That's not the point. The point is that I can shovel 3 inches no problem, but 8 inches would have been a big problem, depending on soft or fluffy or whatever it would be. I mean, heavy or fluffy. But yeah, so yeah, even the weather, the one thing that I do pay attention to, I realize I'm being manipulated by the news. And of course, then there's also the people around you on Facebook or YouTube even. So T-Rex, Trista,
Wait to see if anyone noticed.
um,
Yeah.
do you find yourself being manipulated by the news even when you don't want to be?
Yeah, so I haven't watched the news. I haven't watched TV even in like decades. So I so my like effects from it would be through other people, like a lot of secondhand, right? And being in the industry that I was in, it was kind of the opposite, where a lot of those people didn't watch the regular news, but were really into the other side of things, and kind of wielded it the same way, which is hard for me. Like, because you can talk about whatever, and it's really more about the energy that you're putting into it as to how it's going to come through, right? So even though it wasn't like standard, whatever news, and it was more stuff like conspiracy stuff and that, things that I'm into, the way they would relay it, I found a little challenging sometimes, because there was just still so much fear in there. So I find that a struggle, right? Because we hear about it whether we want to or not, right? And even in algorithms, like, I don't watch the news on YouTube, but YouTube sure shows me the news. And they'll filter whatever they want to put in there, and yeah. So yeah, even though I don't watch, definitely still affected, and it affects like the climate of everything around us.
True, true, true. Victor, how does the news affect you even when you don't pay attention to it?
I would say in a number of ways. In a number of ways, that hit you get, you kind of get a dopamine hit if you remember back in the days when you paid attention to news. Now, I get exposed, I would say, to news probably via social media, just the platforms like X will expose me to some of it. And you can really get it pretty curated. But to Trista's point, news to me, the stuff I look for now, let's go back to that dopamine hit though, is I have a group of people around me that I communicate with every day. And that is where I get my news in a sense, because you're feeling things energetically. You can feel things in news. So in a sense, I get my news in a different way. I get it from my friends that I interact with every morning. They're greeting one another and, hey, had this experience or that since we last spoke. And that's where I get my news. And I fulfill my need for news that way. Because in the old days, I was one of those slugs that got up and I'd be making my coffee and I'd have to get all the headlines. And now I have no idea. I do know there's a big sporting event today and that the Olympics are on, but I don't care. So the news, I live perfect. I love being without news, to answer your question.
I the same thing. The one thing is that the Olympics, I do love curling. I love watching curling, but it doesn't matter the Olympics or not. I'll watch curling because the one thing about curling is it's always available on YouTube during the winter, of course. But that's for someone who watches curling. Most of the people who watch the Olympics curling are doing it because they want to support their team. But that's not here nor there. Yeah, sports is sports. I think politics and sports are very similar, and that's there's definitely something going on where they're trying to make us choose teams, but sometimes just I don't care. That's the one thing.
Well,
So
can I interject something here?
absolutely,
Have
why not?
have you noticed now in sports, especially sports on throughout the day, that they have these talk shows where you have grown men sitting there trying to make something that is not important about something that is even less important. And they're sitting there having this in-depth discussion about so-and-so's elbow on so-and-so team or whatever's going on between the teams. And it's almost like it's been sold to us. If you're a sports fan, you almost feel obligated to watch those shows and know the stuff. It's like it's not the old day, oh, here's the roster. Oh, okay. But now you've got people out there really, really digging into, oh, this person is on the injured list, but they're doing this, this, and this. They're like finding inside intel about what this person's going through. And it could be for betting, it could be whatever, but it's like that granularity of sports being presented to people as that opium. So if they don't get you on the news side, they'll definitely get you on the sports side.
Well,
It's
something
almost
weird.
like
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, okay, so I was into wrestling when I was a kid, and as I got a little bit older, I'm like, this is like soap operas for men, and like women have the soap opera, and this is like I'm gendering everything, but so women have their soap operas and men have wrestling that is that like where there's these intertwined stories about what's going on in their personal lives and all of this kind of garbage with it. And I found that so fascinating, even as like a young person. And now, like, you see it in other sports too. And it is very divisive. And it is about like choosing sides and all of that energy that's going into both in sports and in news about that us versus them. And you got to pick a side. And even if you're a little bit of everything. Like as soon as you say something, then people just assume that my cousin and I would play wrestle, and my friend at school, Claude, me and him would play wrestle as well. Yep. um, but yeah, there's a lot of it's like if you have beliefs from each side, then whoever you're talking to, you're going to be on the opposite side. They're going to find whatever is divisive and not what you have in common, is what I've noticed. Anyway, there you go. Sorry to interrupt because you were going to say something, Lucky.
It's you can go, Millie.
I was just gonna say that I equate their conversations to like gossip almost, like male gossip,
Yeah,
where they're kind of pretending to be sitting around having coffee in their sports jackets and sounding very, and they know about so and so's history and what a great coach he was and how many people he saw through the program because it's always a program, right? And how, what a great style or whatever he had. And it's like, it's gossip almost, but packaged
yeah.
differently.
For all the stats, they'll have the stats memorized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's all I have to say for now.
Well, being from Massachusetts and being the one of the teams played in the big game, it was ridiculous. They would because I think it's a quarter. This is terrible. Yes, I live in New England. I don't know any of the players, and I think the quarterback was named May, but it's with an E at the end or something. And they kept changing the names of cities. They were talking about and putting like his correct name for that would match the city. They were putting on the paraphernalia on some of our statues. Molly Adams.
Is that the New England Bills?
No, and so Patriots, Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots.
Ah, okay.
So but that's the problem is that they were. I never saw them put paraphernalia on our historic statues, but and it was kept coming up my feed, and people were excited and happy about this, but to me, it irritated me. And then I'm like, well, and then the people, oh, you don't understand. It's join the fun. But I felt it didn't make any sense to me. Sure, celebrate your team and everything, but it's getting ridiculous.
Oh, I didn't see the sign.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
I mean, it was on. I mean, the ducks they have ducks in the Boston Garden, and they put yeah, really great. And it was fun. They used to do that all the time, but then they put it on the statues of Molly Adams. They put it on the statue in Salem, Bewitched. They put her all up in paraphernalia, and I've never seen that. I've never seen that, and that's one of the things is Salem. That's a sacred statue. I mean, when someone threw blood on that was red paint on it for some reason because people are stupid, and that was just a whole big thing. And they cleaned that up, but throwing the paraphernalia was you just don't mess with that statue. But again, rules are different now, and I don't know how they got away with it. But of course, it's also a tourist thing. So, but again, there's a balance here, and of course, my wife was basically saying, "Why aren't you watching?" I'm like, "We don't have cable. How am I supposed to watch?" Oh dear me. She goes, "And they just watch on your phone." I'm like, "I don't want to." And she says, "They haven't cracked the egg." And this was like the halftime. It was 0, whatever the Patriots had 0, and the other team had like, I don't know, 13 or something like that. Big numbers. But my wife was like, I had no idea what she was talking about. But either way, they lost, and I'm kind of happy because they won't have any celebration at least, or a little celebration maybe. But my biggest problem is tomorrow at work when they ask me about it, and I have to say, I don't have a clue.
Excellent. Are you ready for a question from me, Lucky?
Go for it.
I don't want to jump on your agenda.
I have no agenda. I mean,
okay.
We're going. That's about it. That's the thing. We're going.
Now, do you guys? I'm going to throw out to our panel here and to the chat as well. Oh, we have a poll question out there too for Millie's previous comment about a recent purge. And we have 76% have said yes. 76% of our audience had said yes, they have had a recent purge in a spiritual or some kind of physical sense in the last amount of time. I'm assuming the last couple of weeks. That's 21 votes, so that's 11 people out there have had, oh no, more than that, sorry. About 17, 18. I'm sorry, is that, what's that, Millie? Yes.
Yes, he said yes.
That's pretty cool. Well, it's pretty cool that, see, it's not just, that's a lot of people in our community having that happen.
Was I supposed to vote because I voted?
Yeah, you can vote, sure. I'm sorry, Millie. Yes. I see it. She came prepared. That's awesome.
Did.
Yeah, so where I was going with this, do you guys remember? Do you remember when you woke up to the news to see what it to just it's almost like I don't know if it happens over time, but it's like you wake up and you have no desire for that news any longer. It's like for me it was like this, and I just went pump and stopped looking at it because it had no relevance to me.
I don't know, like I gave up TV before giving up the news specifically. So like, and it wasn't even like when I kind of first started giving it up, it wasn't even really,
Your sound is gone, Trista.
She got kitty catted. I love our signs, Millie.
They're good.
Take your time.
I played with the inner child.
It's good. It's good to play that in child. Well, I'm wearing my
Just
Cape Cod sweat. It was cold in the house because it's so cold outside. It's the heat is having a little trouble. So, but I don't care.
That's
It's all
good. You're
good. I'm wearing my
representing.
Cape Cod. Yay, New England, go! Oh, New England. Oh, so sad. That's what to do. I can't even talk about it. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. When they ask me about it, I'm like, I just can't even talk about it. That's it. That's the best way to doing it.
And Lucia said something interesting too. I don't feel good when I watch the news. And I think that's why a lot of times, that's probably what, when you really start, when you wake up, you have that moment. See, because she knows it doesn't, see, she knows she doesn't feel well when she watches it. She doesn't feel good. And what's that telling her? That's why she probably avoids it. Because you're starting to feel everything.
Hmm.
I don't know. Still can't hear you. Well, I'll go. Yeah. When I start watching the news, that's something else because
Was
that would probably be, yeah, it wasn't worth it because what they said did not match because I had a problem where I was watching news from all over the world. At one point, back in the late 90s, early 2000, I had a satellite dish from Canada, and because I wanted to watch French programs. So and I actually watched the Super Bowl in early 2000 in French because they blocked it. Because I had some of the East Coast channels from
mm,
Boston in my dish from Canada, but because the Super Bowl was being paid for by Canada, I had to watch on the Canadian side. So I was watching the Super Bowl in French. Not
oh,
anything here nor there. It was just one of those things where I was doing things like that. And I was having a great old time because I wanted to, in the early 2000s, late 90s, I had girlfriends up in Canada, French girlfriends. So I wanted to learn
oh,
their language.
Oh
And
la
so,
la.
wow.
but also the
Player.
satellite dish from Canada was a lot cheaper in the United States than it was to get. So I was going cheap everywhere. So, but I was seeing the news from different levels. I was actually seeing Boston news and seeing the CNN news, and the same thing was going different ways. And it was basically, if it wasn't the American side, no matter what station, CBS, NBC, ABC, it was all the same narrative. But when you go
Mm,
for another country, it was a different narrative, and they were reporting the same thing because America's a big country. So then I also got, because the Canada channel also offered oh, London is the BBC. So I was watching the BBC, and again, Canada and BBC were similar, but they weren't the same narrative. Was different in the United States. That's when the beginning where I start to say, is the United States, filling me with a bunch of lies? I'm not sure anymore. That's when I started waking up to. Maybe things are going in a weird direction.
and I think Triss is back. Good. I think as we grow in our, well, I do things from energy. You guys know that I'm an
Can you hear me
energy.
though?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Hello, hello.
I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes. I think as we
Oh,
grow,
okay, good. Yay.
as we grow,
I can't. I haven't loaded any of you guys on my screen here. I've got you on my phone, so it's still struggling.
can you hear
There
us?
we go. Or nope. So I can hear you from my phone. A few seconds delay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. Where was I going? Oh,
Thank you, Laura.
as we
Trying
begin
to
to
remember what I was
feel,
talking about.
as we grow, as we grow in our ability, I, I think I think you kind of know the news because you hear something, whether you see it, whatever platform, it's like you kind of know, okay, that's not right. Or it's just like, that's a smoke screen, or Like I heard we were saber rattling the United States, at least with saber rattling with Iran, right?
Hmm.
And we've even, some of us know people in the military and have seen those people affected. So we have a friend in Qatar. Yeah. So via Lakeside Laura. And so we see things happening in real time as the rattling is happening. But is that the things we see happening in real time, just shuffling around just to give the impression that the saber rattling is actually happening, if there's actual intent? Because you still get the desired result all the way out there. You've got people back here that are really pro being aggressive. Okay, that's impacting their energy. Then you've got people like us seeing through it and be like, it's nothing. It is nothing in that sense. I don't see it. I don't feel pending war. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's one of my problems where they mention what President Trump's up to, and I laugh because it sounds like satire. It doesn't sound real, and they're all up in arms. They're upset. They're when Trump tried to name himself part of the Kennedy, wanted him named part of the Kennedy Center. He wants to take over Greenland. All these things that don't seem real,
Mm.
and it's like, are you being? I'm telling them flat. I'm like, I think this is an act to get you to focus on something else. Oh no, he really wants to do it. I don't think this is possible. There's something else going on here. I mean, look at in Venezuela. He was mad at Venezuela. He went right in, did his thing, and left. So that's the kind of thing that's what they wanted to do. That was an action. But this all I want to. It seems like smoke and mirrors to me. No matter how ridiculous and how offensive it is, you know, it's not possible. It's so weird. But these people are so triggered by it that, they're probably so triggered that they're going to miss the truth.
Are you back, Trista? T-Rex,
Yes.
I'm
Hey.
sorry. Oh no. There she
Dan
is.
here.
Oh, it's like,
Have you been following any of this,
I
Trista?
was still listening. Yes, I was still listening. I missed when that was that happened for you, Lucky. I mean, I can go back and watch too, so it's not too
Oh,
big of a deal. But
well, I had a Canadian satellite dish from the late 90s, early
I heard that.
2000s.
Like, yeah, I was just kind of wondering when it was that you had that experience, because I found like, and I mean, it's been years since I'd watched the news, but when COVID was happening, and there for some reason, I think it was I was watching something, and then you have the autoplay on, and then like another video comes on after. So I watched like this little snippet of news, and it's funny because I felt the fear. And I was like, okay, and I'm pretty good about it. So if this is making me feel this way, what's it doing to the average person who has no problem with feeling their fear and like reveling in it? So that was really eye opening then for me. And it also kind of helped me to feel more compassion for the people who had bought into it, because it was just so easy,
I, I,
you know?
but by the C word times, I was well out of the
Sorry.
news and then my friends were like,
Oh.
get the V, and because the V will prevent the C, and I said, no, the V's don't present, they make the symptoms less, but they will not prevent you from catching it. Actually, if you have the V, you're more likely to spread it to other people because your symptoms will take longer to get. So people who had the V will spread it for longer. And this was all against all the narrative, and people were freaking out.
And I mean, did it make the symptoms less? That's what they claimed, but we don't know that. How do
Oh no,
you
it
how
did
do you
not. No,
figure
no,
that
no, no. Because to keep my job, I needed to get it, and my wife went in for surgery, and going into the hospital, She ends up catching it, giving it to me, and I got it bad, and I they end up, because at that point it was in the middle of it. I couldn't go to work for, I don't know, 2 weeks, because because they had the nose swabs. You couldn't go anywhere if you tested positive, and the state gave me free medicine, which made your mouth taste like pennies for like 2 weeks. But it did
Probably
that
copper.
worked. Yeah, what
It was
the
probably
the
zinc and
medicine.
copper
Yeah, well, it was the
that
medicine
made.
to make the virus go away worked. It did help a lot. But no, the V did not help. And I am deep in medical field. I know what was going on. I was seeing the studies, but none of that was released. And the amount of money that Pfizer got the highest
Hmm.
fines of any corporation
Hmm.
ever. And they're the ones that the government worked with to push out the medicine, with another company called Moderna. Moderna was the one who actually developed it, but they were too small to do it in large scale, so they worked with Pfizer. But the government subsidized all this, but never received anything back. So all the money went to Pfizer, a little went to Moderna, and none went to the government. So it was just a shell game. It was a money laundering thing. That's undeniable. That's the truth. I can say that and not worry about it. But the other words I can't say because they'll catch on and they'll bug me about it.
Interesting.
Hmm.
But don't you see? See, you just proved my point. Both of you did that. As you grow, you're seeing through stuff. You see right through it, and some of the things you were just not talking about, like took me a
Yes.
second to follow on. Uh, the thing about that is, I knew right. It's like I knew right when I heard it. I was like, no, it's
Same.
not. That is completely. I knew it was. I knew it right then. I knew it right then. None of this. None of the fear worked on me. Anything. I knew right then. Tell me about your experience with that.
Oh, it, it,
Here's
it,
Who are you
was,
talking
it
about?
was bad.
Hmm? Yeah. So you knew right away that. What did you know about it when they started talking about it? From question goes out to all of you.
Well,
So the
go ahead,
very
Tristan.
the very first time I heard of it, like literally the first time I heard of it, I again, like you said, I just knew, and I was like, okay, so this is, yeah, it's gonna spread. It's gonna be hyped way more than it needs to be, and there's gonna be an overreaction that is really unnecessary. And yeah, and it was like there's only been a few times in my life where I've had just this absolute no doubt. And that was one of those times where there was just zero doubt in my mind. It was like, nope, this is what's happening. And then I watched it unfold. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, but so it's like anything. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Lucky, or well, Lucky, Melly, if you wanted to stab at it.
Well, for
Well,
me,
she probably has it written out already.
so
Dang,
for,
I didn't hear that.
I said she probably has something written out already.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry.
so for
Like it.
me, it was a weird dichotomy where the one lane aisles in the grocery store and you know the cleaning everything. Yes, this is the 6 foot between people. These are ways of reducing things. Those I agreed with and those I loved. The face covering and the shields and everything, and there was a lot of stuff that really didn't prevent it. And my friends were deep in it. It's like, well, if you come up to a naked man and he starts peeing, if he's wearing pants, he won't pee on you. That's what the mask is going to do. And I'm like, no, the mask is like throwing rice through a chain link fence. Some of them are going to bob off, but the rest of them are going to go through. And they didn't want to hear any of that, you
Yeah.
know.
I
But
I chronically shared a study that said that and that demonstrated that surgeons do not wear face masks to protect the patient and the person they're doing surgery on it, they wear it to protect themselves from getting blood and guts splattered in their face. In fact, it actually increases infection. Slightly though, enough that it's or like not enough that it makes an impact where they really need to worry about it.
Yes, and
So,
also the masks are changed often because once you get breathing in it, it puts liquid into it and it starts restricting it, and it just starts going out the other side. So after a couple hours, the face coverings
yeah.
don't do any good anyways. But again, these are knowledge that we could tell people and they weren't listening, and it
Yeah.
was and I, again, all over and over and over again, all the hype. And it's like in someone I was talking about how my problem with the system of the CVD going on, and they go, but you work in the medical field, you shouldn't talk like this. And I'm like, don't you understand? I work in the medical field. I understand. I read the studies. You should be able to trust me. But no, you want to trust what the news is telling you. But, and then I lost a few friends through Facebook. They came back, but now I'm like, I don't
The
want.
real ones.
Yeah, I
I
don't
love
really want you guys. And
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, you see throughout all these things they told us, all those things about this and that, and all these rules, some of you out there, if not all of you knew, okay, that sounds pretty reasonable. That there might be some truth in that. And then, oh, here's another rule. And then you're like, oh, and you just know. It's that
yeah,
knowing by feeling that energy off of it. And you can apply it to anything. And it's probably happening to all of you dozens and dozens of times each day. That's the cool thing about it. You're making all these decisions because you're seeing the truth in a sense. Because the truth doesn't have to be good or bad. It is what it is. It is the truth. Wow.
and that's the one thing I did enjoy is that things were cleaner during that time where you were required to clean, wipe your desk down with, wipes, which I love that. That we because we were rotating desks. That was wonderful.
I do feel like that made us more susceptible to germs and viruses now though. Because when we encounter it little by little in our environment, like should be happening normally instead of killing it all before we have a chance to let it get into, our eyes, ears, nose, all of the places where we're supposed to be taking in bacteria and germs and viruses and other pathogens, because that teaches our body how to fight them. And if you're not taking in any kind of pathogens, then your body's like, there's nothing to fight, so I can be lazy. And then you encounter something and then you get it really badly. And I think that's why a lot of people are getting really sick now and for the last couple of years.
Hmm.
That I won't
Anyway,
comment on because I think that the V thing is the problem.
it's huge for sure. That's part of it. But I mean, I didn't take it, and my immune system is not what it was.
Hmm.
Yeah, it took me 2 years after where I felt like garbage, and finally afterwards, mega dose of vitamins, I was finally feeling stronger, greater, better. But yeah, it was quite a time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So to answer your question about the news, oh yeah, we're good. We're still good. To answer your question about the news in a general sense, did one of you not get your answer in? Because I think we had some technical difficulties at that time. Meaning, where are we going? Like, where do you get your news? I thought one of us still hadn't answered that question.
Oh, I didn't hear that question. So was
What
it
was
me?
it was the original question, or let's see, was it the second question? Trista, did you get
I
the
was
answer?
starting. Well, I was starting to ramble when my no, and you can't go here because you've already messed me up. Love you. Anyway, but I don't remember what I was rambling about when that happened. I've got lots of notes here though for other things we can touch on as well,
Okay.
like how it's. I mean, unless somebody remembers, because then I could dive back into it. But
I
I have
don't
no
remember.
recollection. Um, do, 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 do. Language and like how important the language that they choose
Oh yeah.
is in shaping that fear and in shaping how we feel about that topic and then about other people regarding that topic, right? Like if it's an us versus them kind of situation, which it so often is, then there's all these labels and repetition and oversimplification and all of those um, all of those things like lead to us metabolizing the information in a certain way and makes it that much more detrimental, really. Especially if you're not, if you aren't on guard against it, so to speak. um yeah, language is huge for a
And
lot of things.
the thing is too
It's
that a lot of people don't realize these techniques that you're talking about shaping the news, that this is something that they literally do. They shape it, and they think about how they're going to put it out to us, and the repetition on every single channel. They'll have that same catchphrase, like
yeah,
they did it during OJ. If it doesn't fit, they must have quit. And then you get those sound bites over and over again everywhere,
yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what news.
yeah, yeah. New
Mm.
normal is another phrase that I just will happily never hear ever again.
Right, but
It's
it's
another one.
programming.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
ever imagine myself ever being caught up in news. And it's one of those things, I think as we grow, we'll get to the point where we absorb none at all because it won't matter. It won't matter what's happening around us. And then let's ask that question too is, have we been conditioned to wanting to know what's going on around the world? You see, because back
Mm.
when we were much younger, there were still newspapers. I don't know if you remember them, Trista, but the thing is that I grew up with newspapers, and now I could say that to my boyo, and he would even be like, "What is that?" Of course, he probably knows what it is, but it's a different time, and
Sorry, was
now
that an age at me?
was that a what?
If I remember, was that an age jab?
It was a good.
Like, oh,
It
Trista,
was
do you
a
remember newspapers?
well. I was trying to imply that you're very young, sweetie. All
Yes,
right.
that line was, but still, still a little jab.
That was a good job, though. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess that's a little bit of ageism there.
No, no, no. I
All
was
right.
just giving you a hard time.
Dial that back.
Lucky, Lucky, did you ever watch the movie Wag the Dog?
Nope. I've
Okay.
heard about it though. They made up a war. They use AI to it, didn't they?
But the whole premise of the movie is how they formulate the news
Hmm.
and they create the news.
Oh,
So like for me, whenever that movie came out, that was like the first thing, because then I would pick up on certain things. That's not
And,
to say that they didn't get me during certain things,
oh
but
yeah,
absolutely, like that, because I got to see how it's as real as real TV.
yeah. And now it's even
yeah,
worse, where they can literally just make up pictures and it
Hmm.
will look
yeah.
real. It's really hard to tell the difference.
Videos.
I
Yeah.
mean, those silly cat videos with the cat playing the trumpet and shooting the bazooka, and that looks like a real
And
cat doing
farming.
that. I mean, it's amazing. Of course, it's not real, and I know better. And the Bigfoot videos with the Bigfoot blogs, that's crazy. And they're
Hmm.
funny, but they're also scary because it looks so real. So now you can't trust anything. And is that what they want?
When I
Yeah.
was
Sad
in
thought.
university, one of
Oh,
the books for one of my classes was called Manufacturing Consent, And it's funny because it crossed my path, or that phrase crossed my path again very recently. And I thought, that's really interesting. And I don't know if I I don't remember the book, honestly. I probably didn't even read it. I was kind of bad that back then. But um, like looking at it through the eyes of me now, it's yeah, that's they do. They manufacture consent. They just build it like they need to, however they need to.
Okay. I'm just going to point out today that there's definitely something with the audio and our voice and our throat chakra.
Wow. Holy cow. I love it. Oh my God. Hey, this is live. This is live. It's recorded. We got it.
Oh my god.
Wow, I that was wow, that the timing for that was impeccable.
Hey, what's the medicine? What's the medicine of this moment?
We will not be
No, there she
silenced.
is.
That's right.
She will not be silenced, except
That
for
was
that one
awesome,
few
Millie.
seconds. Did you even realize that
Oh
you
my
weren't
God.
on?
No, I knew I was on.
I know, but
You're
you
the one that
dropped
No, no,
out.
wasn't
no.
on.
You weren't on. You said the first couple of words and then you just snapped out.
Really? Oh, I
That's
And
had
it
no
said
timing.
offline.
idea.
As soon as you were,
What's
what did she say? Like
She
right
start.
before.
She started saying, "Hey, I think it's in the throat chakra." Oh my God, what did she say? I'm just gonna back out. I'm gonna back out of our production for a
Oh,
second.
no, I didn't realize I went away. I just
Yeah.
said
That
something
was,
about me and you competing. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I found it. I found it. I
Thanks,
found it.
Scotty. Okay. Interesting. Huh.
yeah, that's
Well,
so
I don't
funny.
consent either, and I rebuke it all. In fact, I take
What
it
was that?
all in. Said I don't consent either,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna transmute all that with love and use it to propel me forward, make
You,
my voice stronger.
you said that you definitely think something's going on with our voices today and something in our throat chakra, and then boom, you disappeared. That was awesome.
Mm,
So it's in the product. So it's been recorded, so it'll be out there.
very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that was awesome.
But then you came back and said we will not be silenced.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like,
It
How's that
was
theatrical? We need to start making shorts. Thank you, Lachelle.
That is cool. That's right.
yes, and it was like you set it up, but you didn't. That's amazing.
God, I love the universe.
That's why I put my
maybe
hands
she
up in the
did.
air. Wow.
Oh,
Uh,
there
Oh,
she goes again.
oh,
Go
oh,
back
no,
in.
she's back.
again.
Uh, that was amazing. There was an amazing bit of wow.
So
Timing.
speaking of that, this is a good like jump off point for another point that I have about silence as manipulation. So like what isn't covered and why not? You know, like because they'll pick and choose. And one of the examples like from true crime is when Lacey Peterson disappeared and there was a big
Mm,
thing about her disappearing. And there was another woman who was not as affluent who lived nearby. She disappeared at the same time and nobody heard about her.
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
it's
pregnant with my first when that happened. It affected me. I was so depressed. My first was born in February. So when that all happened in December, I was pregnant and I could like empathize so much with her. It was really sad. And then years later, you're right.
With
I
Lacey
heard,
Peterson.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And right
yeah.
away, I
Sad,
just
sad.
kind of got this nasty feeling about him. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
you don't want to be
And he's
judgmental.
still fighting it and pretending that he's innocent, dude. So
Who
clear.
knows? Who
Anyway,
knows? Maybe there was a serial killer that was famous and they framed him.
I
We don't
don't
know.
think so.
I
Yeah,
don't, I don't think so either because I kind of felt he
well,
was guilty of it. But, you never know.
yeah.
Like it could have been some senator's son or some. And I'm totally talking out of my butt right now. I have no idea. But
I
so
think
that
that
happened in
happens.
December
I
2003.
don't think that, but I do think that happens. Yeah.
Hmm. Lucky.
Just so much. It's just wow. Yeah, I'm not a true crime kind of person. Every one of my girlfriends were though. Oh boy, all the stuff they were all into that kind of thing. But
It's how we learn how to protect ourselves.
yeah, it's foreign to me. Um, which the thing is another thing is I do watch this woman who reads positive uplifting stories about mostly about animals and about stuff, and I do like watching her. Um, but I don't know how good her reach is because sometimes she responds directly to my comments, and I'm like, wait, only tiny channels do that. So, but the feel good girl, whatever. I don't know if she says, but her every so often her shorts come on, and I watch them because I like watching them about because it's all feel good stuff, and that's what I think we need more of. But I don't think people like it. I don't think the general public. I think the general public feeds off the fear for some reason, and then they want to spread it. That's it. That's it. Maybe it's not the fear that they feed off of. They love to tell it to others. Are we? Wow, maybe that's it. It's not so much they want to have the fear, but they want to spread the fear to other people because that's how it is. Everyone wants to be part of the group, our team. Yay, yay, our team. But really, it's just us versus them, which is how you convince anyone to do anything. The idea is that we're better than they are. Whoever they are, it doesn't matter.
And think about how current events are always pushed on us too. Growing up, current events. Oh, to be a well-rounded person, you have to keep up with that,
Yep.
so you can have conversation that's interesting while you're at a party. Oh, okay, that kind of thing. And I assume, but think about how we were shaped. We had uncles and aunts that the news was. I remember my uncle. We always had to shut up around my uncle if it was time for news, weather, or sports at 5 p.m. I'd
Hmm.
listen to it on the radio, and he would like, no, snap at you and all this stuff. Listen to the news, and he did it religiously, and it was to keep him current in a sense. But look how we're like trained, because really, when it really boils down to it, if your street is not exploding, what news do you really need to have? If you don't have a tornado, something weather related, yeah, whenever it's actually, give yourself a day or two, depending on the severity, whatever example. But you think about how we are conditioned. What do you really need to know? What does Tristan need to know today? What does Lucky need to know? Does knowing anything about the Olympics improve your life at all? Does it have really any relevance on what you do in the next 30 seconds, 30 minutes? No. Most of the news is not that way. So what do you gain? What do you gain by having this nonsense reported, that you're listening to? What is it? How does it affect you guys? You follow me?
No, I agree. I agree. The news doesn't, and even the weather now doesn't have any effect on me because I can't trust that even. So, you know, it's it's the most ridiculous thing of all is that the one thing that I want to pay attention to news for is the weather, and I can't even trust that anymore. So, now I just the day of the weather, the day
And
before, I look on my phone and say, "Hey, phone, tell me what the weather's going to be like for the next couple days, so I know." That's about it. There's no options.
And
I just look at my app on my phone, and if the dude's wearing a little jacket, then I'm like, okay, so it's a little chilly.
and I'm going to be a little gloaty for a second because Levy pointed out that I had my hands on my forehead. Energy is real, but I agree with your statement. But I was actually something I just realized. I actually got sunburnt today. So, and that's something. That's actually my face is red because I spent the afternoon outside.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. It was like 68 Fahrenheit, F,
Beautiful.
not centigrade.
Is all is that would be warm? Is all the snow gone, or do you still have like piles, little piles? Because sometimes those last even when it's nice.
All that I can see from my visage is it's all melted. I'm sure there may be a pile or two, but geez, it was 68 degrees today. And I got sunburned. I was out in shorts and a t-shirt, and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And apparently I got some sun. I can feel it now. And that's why I was pressing my head, Lovey, to see, because if you can push on your skin, and you'll get that certain color.
Green.
Green. Oh, look at that. Mary Wynn's 80s here today. Ooh,
My goodness.
sweet. That's almost my perfect temperature, 85. 83, 84, 85, somewhere in there.
Gross.
What?
It is 7 Fahrenheit where I am right now.
Yeah.
I-
Oh, what?
Yeah, I walked to my trail that I normally hike and saw that someone else had, because I've been avoiding the trails because the snow is, there's at least 3 feet of snow on the trails. And I walked to because at the end of my street is a way to walk into the conservation land, and I saw footsteps. I'm like, somebody's crazier than me. I'm going to follow their footprints. I started walking, and then the snow started going into my boots. My boots are pretty tall. And I realized, no, this is deeper than I thought. And I went up maybe about 10 feet in, and I turned around like a little, well, I don't want to do this anymore. And I went home. But I was really impressed that someone else is hiked. I do have snowshoes, or something. I saw you wearing tennis rackets the other day. Are you okay? Oh, I saw you wearing tennis rackets on your feet the other day. Are you okay? But I didn't. I don't. They're basically they're in the attic, and it's cold in the attic, so I'm not going to go there. But I could probably grab them. But yeah, if I got my snowshoes, I might have done it today. But no, it was just too. Yeah.
PG
No.
posted pictures of him in snowshoes.
Oh, did APG did?
Yeah, it's in one of the chats in
Oh,
Discord.
okay.
It's not easy walking in those things. It sure is not.
I get used to it. I was doing it. I was doing it a couple of years ago when we had a lot of snow. I was doing it every day for a few months, and I loved it. But again, I also have weird friends who also do the same thing. We've gone out
I also
together.
tried it when I was in elementary school, so
Oh, that's
they
tough.
had proper control of my limbs, or they were way too big. Like they're adult, and I'm
Yeah.
a child.
It's
It's
not
like
a
wearing clowns.
it's not an easy process wearing snowshoeing. It's not, although I found doing snowshoes in one pole easier than using 2 poles, but that was just me. My friends, oh no, you got to use 2 poles for stability. I'm like, I just can't get the rhythm right. I think I got too many head injuries, I imagine.
I don't think that's it. I think it just takes some getting used to, probably.
I've never ever worn snowshoes.
Oh, poor Victor. Have you wore sand shoes?
Yeah, I prefer sand over snow any day. But I
It's
wasn't
pretty
raised in the snow either. I wasn't raised in it, so it's not. I'm not indigenous to the snow, in a sense.
At least if you get snow stuck in places, it'll just melt and leave. Whereas sand doesn't have that feature.
Oh, and it's like a free bath.
Yeah, but the one problem is when you have really good waterproof boots that are tall, it is a pain in the butt to get them to dry out. But I remembered something very important that my grandfather used to tell me. You take old newspapers and you shove them in your boots, and within a few hours, the newspapers will absorb all the water, which we don't have anymore because now everything's digital.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I was just
That's
remembering
good.
that.
What's a
and I thought,
newspaper?
what?
What's a newspaper again?
There you go.
I don't think all that could have changed in 3 years.
No comment.
I've never seen anyone do that newspaper trick, and I live in Canada. Weird.
Oh God, I've done it for
The
a
other
long
day-
time.
That's interesting.
No,
Maybe because we just end up putting them on the vent instead.
oh,
The other day I was out, and it had snowed a lot previously and then melted, and I'm walking along and it just looked like normal. And this is the street that I live on. Like I walk down here all the time, but it just looked like it was wet pavement. And I stepped into it, and it was actually a puddle that was deeper than my boots.
Oh,
Ooh.
So that was fun. Or no, it wasn't deeper. It just reached, because I was really surprised that I didn't get more than a splash in my moccasins. And I was also really surprised that it didn't soak through. And
Wow.
impressed.
moccasins like low shoes in the snow.
No, moccasins are just they're leather, and they're just really fortified, and that's what the native peoples were using like many, many, many moons ago. Except these actually have a sole on them, like a regular
No,
boot.
I get what a moccasin is, but like I picture a moccasin to be like kind of like a ballerina slipper, kind of very, you know what I mean? But I know they have the higher boots that
Oh,
have the
like
moccasins.
slippery? Do you mean?
Like a slip-in
Do you mean
moccasin.
that they're
You wear that out
slippery?
in the snow.
No. So these they have like a proper sole on the bottom,
No, but how high do they go
the
up on
boot
your
type.
leg? A boot, a boot. Okay.
Not that high. These are only like maybe like from the bottom of the shoe to the top, maybe like that. I have
Oh,
pictures because she likes to lick them, so I have a video of her
oh,
licking
I've seen
them.
that video. Okay, okay, I know.
Excellent.
Well, we have completed our hour, and we've learned that we're manipulated by the news in some way or another, but we try to fight it the best we can. Do you have anything to sum up this subject? Because,
We didn't even touch on independent news.
Yeah, if you have to have it,
Ooh,
yeah, be very what is the curated? How can I say?
discerning.
Be discerning.
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's what I would say. That'd be my parting thought. If you have to have it, if you want to expose yourself to it,
yeah,
and then just be very discerning, especially if you're.
Mhm.
Well, I think most of our audience, though, is probably they're probably going to be far beyond just hearing it. They're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it on every level, and that must be a confirmation.
yeah, critical thinking.
Mhm.
We all have it. We sometimes, but it's the enjoyment of life.
Yeah, question everything. And please like the video.
Sorry about that.
Ask questions, question answers, and live the life that you want to.
Hmm.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
So I
Wow,
guess
that
that's it.
pairing is great.
Thank you all for watching, Scotty Boy, Katie, Tarot by
You're
Lucia,
welcome.
Lucia.
Lucia. Hey, I
You hear
just
that
got.
purring?
I'm getting good at the Nuestra Tabla Rasa.
You are.
I got to practice on other names. Karen, Suki, uh, Kristen Fryer. Oh, I could look at it. Thank you all for watching. Um, I really appreciate
Oh
you.
wow.
Oh, Mary's asking. No, the eclipse is, I think, the 17th of February. So
Yeah.
this
Right,
seems
there's always two. There's
Chinese New
always
Year.
two, right? There would be one with the full moon and one with the new moon.
Yes. Oh, is there one?
Yeah.
So is there one? Yeah,
I
so the
don't.
17th.
I
I
know
believe the
that the
17th.
17th is one.
And I
I
think
don't know if the other
sometime
one
in
is.
March 3rd.
March
No,
what?
Okay.
Bless your heart.
stop it. It's better now. Yes, God, it's my voice. I've been hiding it all along. I really speak squeaky.
Well, thank you, Lucky. Great
All right.
topic.
Every,
Thank you,
have a great
Lucky.
night,
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Have a great
Kristen.
everyone.
week, everyone, and see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
All
Yes,
right.
have a great week. Take
Until
care.
then,
Bye. Love you all.
bye. Love you all.
Oh,
Namaste.
wait, I have a sign for that.
Namaste. There you go. Awesome. Good night.